This is Alex, and welcome back to Banging Your Head Until the Right Answer Comes Out. We've covered a lot, just going through the list. We've got a database up there, we've got the way to communicate to the database. We covered a lot of basics of TSQL and SQL Server. And now we're going to do some things that are more cloud-based. And eventually I think I'm going to create a separate track where we do things that are more database oriented, and that'll just be a different number. Okay, so today we're going to set up the CLI on our EC2 instance. We're going to install it after we create access keys for our user that's going to use it. Then we're going to take a quick run to the console and create a bucket in S3. Then we'll go into the CLI and create a bucket through the CLI. It's very easy to do. And then we'll just go back to the console very briefly and see that our new bucket is there. Okay, and then the next steps will probably be in future episodes. Let's get a move on. Okay, here we go. So I have already logged into the console on my EC2 instance, and I've gone to Identity and Access Management, IAM, and I've gone to Users. We can go ahead and just click on Users and my admin user. And then if we go to Security Credentials, we'll scroll down a little bit and we see here Access Keys. We need access keys for this user to work. Now, access keys do not use the MFA. So if someone has your access keys, they can do everything your user can do. So I'm going to create a set of access keys today, and we're going to use them for the episode. And then I'm going to create a new set of access keys and delete the old access keys. So here we go. We're going to hit Create Access Key. Okay, and then we're going to download the CSV file. This is your one chance to do that. And since I'm going to delete this right after, we can take a quick peek in here and we can see them both. We'll close that. So there's two pieces to our guide here. So let's go to Show in Folder. And here we go. I'm going to move that file. Go ahead and create a folder in here for our AWS stuff, so that we know where they are all the time. And while I was away, I installed Notepad++. I highly recommend that for anybody. And we can see here that it's just a file with a header and the information that we're going to need momentarily. Alright, so we're going to minimize that for now. And then over here, if you go to aws.amazon.com/CLI, it's very straightforward. I'm using Windows, so I'm going to click on here. And it's going to download. And I'm going to click on that. And here we go. It's starting. So we're just going to basically, it's a wizard. We're going to hit next, accept things. We want everything to be installed, which there isn't really much to it. So we'll hit next. And then we'll click install. And finish. Now I know that wasn't really very exciting. That's fine. Not everything's going to be super exciting. If we go here, we go to the command line, so I click Windows and CMD, I type AWS, we get something. Alright, that's how we know that it's installed. And it's on the path for Windows. For now, we're going to go back to the Management Console. We'll go to the Home section here. And we will go to S3. Scalable storage in the cloud. Interesting. Okay, so here we are. I don't think we need to do anything with those things. And we've got a couple of places to create a bucket. So we'll click on Create Bucket. We're going to give it a name. So Fodchan is the name of our company, and B01, that's just going to be our bucket. fairly generic bucket. It's going to be in our region, Ohio. It can be whatever region you want it to be in. It's set to block all public access, which is fine for now. We can always come back and change that. Bucket versioning, that's something that's very interesting, and we can click on enable and check some things out with that later. We'll get some tags. We're just going to say created by, and just put console. Okay, there it goes. Default encryption. We're going to go into this in more detail later, but your data should always be encrypted at rest. But for our sample purposes, we're just going to leave it as disabled. And we're going to click Create Bucket. Always forget the rules. We'll just call it FodgeSend01. There we go. But the thing is that the error messages are very clear. They're not obscure or anything like that. And there we go. We've got a bucket. Everything looks a little bit different. Maybe I should have read those messages on the top. All right. So now we're going to go and finish setting up our CLI. So first off, we're going to Notepad. And we've got our keys here, so we're going to take those and bring them over here. And then we're going to go and start the command line. And we're going to go AWS configure. Enter. There we go. AWS access key ID. So here we go. We'll just copy that. Paste it on in there and hit enter. And then our secret. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Well, not this one apparently. It'll have to be a different one later. We'll hit enter. And then we'll do US East. Where am I at? We want to be in the same one. 2. I'm not sure why I'm using Ohio when I'm on the East Coast. And then we're going to define our format as JSON. There are other formats, but by and far, I think JSON is the most prevalent. And there we go. So that was not particularly exciting. Okay, so I encountered some issues, a quarter of a bang of the head. Apparently, I'm so used to using US East 1 that there's a parameter that needs to be sent here if it's not US East 1. So for now, I'm in Notepad++ again. I'm going to paste this on in here, and let's go over it piece by piece. AWS, so I'm calling AWS S3 API. So that's what I'm calling. I want to create a new bucket. So there's create bucket. Then -- bucket. And here's the name of the bucket, just like our other one, FodgeSend02. And then -- region. And here's our US East 2 region. This next part's what's required. Create bucket configuration location constraint equals US-East-2. So if I hit enter on this command, which is not a really hard command to do, and it responds back with location, and that's going to be our bucket right there if we could navigate it directly. But we'll go back to our console here, and you only see the one bucket. And that's okay. They have not made these things to kick yet, and here we go. FodgeSend02 was created. It's in this region here, our Ohio region, and objects can be public. So it did some different configuration, and we could go back to the command line. We can do some more research and find more settings to make them exactly the same. For now, we're going to close this up by deleting this bucket. Click on delete, and it makes you type the bucket name in the hopes, oh geez, I can't spell, that you won't accidentally delete a bucket. But things are going to happen out there in the real world. Okay, so it's all about how you recover. So that's great. And then what else we're going to do here is we're going to go back to IAM, and I'm going to go to my users, my admin user, our security credentials, and I'm going to make this inactive. All right, let's see if it caught up already. We're going to up arrow here, and we're going to change this to FODSAN, oops, not FODSAN, oops, FODSAN 03. And we're going to hit enter. Aha, invalid access key ID. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want to see. So I'm going to go offline, create a new access key, and run AWS config again, and set it up with my keys, and we can continue on. Thanks.